English also. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yatkrupatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramanandamadhum Shri Chaitanyeshwar. So we've been talking about how we can have a new beginning for this new year and what all things we can correct and learn so that our 2023 should not be like only 2022, but it should be better than that. So we've been taking this topic of 5 L's, right? And we've been speaking a lot about why it has to be five, because we are looking for the Panchama Purushartha. We don't want only Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. We are aiming something very high. So we've been talking about leaving, right? What all things we have to leave, right? Because before we learn anything new, we have to unlearn so many things, right? So much of our consciousness is caught in our past and our past memories which are not so good, and many times they come in our present and they ruin our present, and eventually they'll ruin our future also. So there are some things, some people, some situations that we have to leave behind so that we can run ahead, right? We have taken many examples, like how a monkey gets trapped because of some peanuts. So those peanuts are like things which are holding us back, right? And second is, we have taken the example of how we cannot run with a lot of luggage, right? We have to be very much free without any luggage so that we can run faster. So we should keep that baggage of the past in the past only, right? All those things which are holding back, we have to keep them aside. Then only we can move ahead. So then we spoke about learning, right? How we have to learn, we have to be very much enthusiastic like a child. Like he asks so many questions. Oh, what is this? What is this? Why this? Why this? We will get sometimes tired by answering them, why this happens and what is this and all, right? They ask the things multiple times. So they have Athato Brahma Jigyasa. In terms, actually, they don't have the Brahma Jigyasa, but that at least have Jigyasa. So when we are matured, we should have the Brahma Jigyasa to ask about the spiritual things. So while learning, we have to be enthusiastic as child, but while behaving, we should behave like a matured person. And we should learn from the Shastras, we should increase our book reading, we should increase our courses, like we should take up Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibham and all. So all of this we have to elevate ourselves. Now today we will talk about living, right? So a part of living is same, leaving some things and learning the things, but we'll try to elaborate little bit more on what is living. So Srila Prabhupada says we have to have simple living and high thinking, right? But nowadays we see that, as Prabhu said, we have rivers, right? We think about high living in terms of material things, and we have very simple thinking, or in a way we can say that very low level of thinking. People want to live luxuriously, but their thoughts are very cheap, right? So sometimes Govardhan Prabhu says, if you want to see the opulences, go to a person who is opulent. But if you want to go for dinner or lunch to someone's house, better you choose someone who is middle class or low class. Why? Because the opulent people will show off so many things, but give nothing. But the non-opulent people, they may have nothing to show, but they'll show love and care to you and they'll feed you properly, right? So what we need to have, simple living and high thinking. Now this means that we have to live in the mode of goodness. See, if we want to practice to achieve the transcendental nature, then we have to live in goodness. So before we go to the pure goodness, we have to live in goodness. If we keep on living in mode of passion or mode of ignorance, what will happen is we cannot think about transcendence, we cannot achieve that transcendental nature. So how we can keep our life simple and thinking high? By following Guru Sadhu Shastra. So what our Guru Sadhu Shastra tells, that Mahajano Yena Gataha Sapantaha. The great Acharyas, great Vaishnavas, whatever path they have walked, we have to follow their footsteps. So in olden days, we see that people were living in the mode of goodness. Their life was simple. They were working hard to get the necessities fulfilled, but they were unnecessarily not involving into anything, right? We nowadays we see, the stress, depression, so many psychological disorders that we see, those were not present in the past. You go 100 200 years back, the rate at which we are facing these problems nowadays and then has a dramatically huge difference, right? So why? Because nowadays we are longing for the things that are unnecessary, and the problem is that we are not able to identify exactly what is the need and what is the greed, or what is necessary, what is unnecessary. Because the whole advertising propaganda, it tells us everything that we don't have, is our need. Oh, you don't have a big house, you must have a big house. Oh, you don't have a big car, you must have a big car. Oh, you are using this, oh, you have to use something higher grade. So what they are doing is they are trying to sell happiness, and in that process they are selling their products. So that is the reason, even though we acquire so many positions and possessions, we are still not happy. And we wonder how people in olden days, without having so many things, also used to live happily. Today we have a lot more comfort, lot more position, lot more positions, and still our happiness level is still very low, right? So we have to live in the mode of goodness. That means we have to make our life more simple. More simple means not to have opulences that can be shown for the outside people, but gain the opulences that can actually increase our consciousness or elevate our consciousness. Now in the Kevalashtakam text 6, we see that it says, अहो दुःखं महादुःखं दुःखा दुःखतरं यतः काचार्थं विस्मृतं रत्नं Harer Namayeva Kevalam. So we see this materialistic perspective always tells us what we lack, and we always feel scarcity. And that is why longing to achieve things, especially the physical things or the material things, is too much. But our spiritualistic perspective, what it says that you already have that what you need, right? Yes, you have to improve, right? Improvement is never rejected, whether it is material or spiritual. But the thing is, you should not have a feeling that I have scarcity, but have the consciousness that you have something in abundance. And what you have, the most precious thing that you can have is that you have Krishna with you, right? Krishna is never lost to us. Life after life, he is coming with us no matter whichever form of life we take, whether we are in an animal form or a plant form or a human form. Krishna is always there with you. So focus on Krishna. Yes, you need things, and for that you have to work hard, you have to gain certain material benefits and all. That's okay. But first and foremost important thing is center your life in Krishna, and then other things will follow. So making our life simple means we have enough time to focus on what we already have. If we are not focusing on it, if we are not spiritually inclined, what will happen? This material world will make us keep running. Nowadays, you see, if someone has some free time, we will see like, they are wasting time. Because if you have one job, you should do two jobs. Or if you have some time, why don't you earn some more money, right? If money is more, why don't you enjoy, right? So that means either we are trying to get the things, and after getting the things, we are busy in enjoyment, and that is why the scarcity continues. We never feel like we have so much. But we see the guru or the sadhus, right, who are spiritually elevated, they always feel they have everything, right? They take sannyasa by leaving everything, they're living luxurious life, they're living their normal life, they're living the life of sense gratification. Why they live? Because they feel they have so much now, and they wanted to give, and they have the responsibility to give. So the sannyasis roam around the world to house to give the spiritual knowledge to them, because that is the real wealth. But all the time, what we do generally, if we are not spiritual, if we are not Krishna conscious, we are only running towards all the material things. And end of the life, we regret. Oh, I thought these all will give me happiness, but actually they have not given me any happiness. So, Kachartham Vismrutam Ratna means actually we have identified a glass piece to be a diamond, and we have neglected the diamond by thinking that it is a piece of glass. So, we see we neglect Krishna and we are running after the material things only to realize that we have made a wrong choice. So, simple living will actually lead us to think more about Krishna and make our life centered on Krishna. So, simple living involves simple clothing, right? We are not going and spending a lot of money to just for the clothing, right? Simple food, right? Radhesham Prabhu says like you should not eat opulent food, because what will happen, your attachment towards food will increase, and it will not be suitable for your stomach also. So simple food, actually healthy life we can lead. So simple clothing, simple food, and we should have a simple home, right? We need a home, but that home need not be so opulent that we have to work so much hard to get all those opulences in our home. Nowadays, we see like, people are buying multiple houses. In that house also, they do renovation and all. Not because house is weak, but because house is not attractive, right? You should have a false ceiling, this lighting, that's lighting, this much should be there, that should be there. If you have money which you are getting in a simple way without spending a lot of energy, then that's fine. But if you have to spend a lot of time and energy only to get those things, then what is the use, right? So we should have a simple life. How? By having simple clothing, simple food, simple home, and simple lifestyle, right? Nowadays, we see that people are buying the things that they don't need with the money that they don't have, only to impress those they don't like. Nowadays, people are using credit cards, loans, and all only to buy the things which are actually not necessary. Right? If it is necessary, then we can understand. But so many things that we list out in our life are not actually necessary. But before we buy them, we feel like they are badly needed. Right? So that is how we are getting trapped in this world. And we should live honestly and purposefully. Right? Nowadays we see like people are telling us like, why you want to be so honest, why you want to maintain your integrity, that value system and all. If you have money, everyone will respect you. If you have the wealth, everyone will follow you, right? This selfless living, this honesty and all are not the values of these days. Nowadays the world has changed. You have to be, in a way, sometimes you have to be crook, you have to tell lies and all. That is how you can actually sustain in this world, right? If someone is very innocent now, they will come and tell like, hey, you are so innocent, how you live in this world, right? You cannot be like this, you have to be smart, you have to be chalu, right? So people are telling us how to degrade our character so that we can sustain in this world. But our scriptures tells us that, whether others will appreciate or not, you have to live honestly and purposefully, because God is watching, and our main goal is to satisfy God, right? Haritoshanam, right? Samsiddhim Haritoshanam. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam says, that we are living to satisfy the Supreme Lord. So, can Supreme Lord be satisfied if we are dishonest or if we are losing our life without any purpose and all? So, our focus should be Krishna, not this world outside. And honesty will actually sets us free. There is a saying in English which says that the truth sets you free. So, if we are telling lies, what will happen? Oh, I have told what I have to remember. Oh, this guy I told like I have not eaten. That guy I told I have eaten. Right? Oh, this guy I told like, my bank balance is this much or my intentions are like this. But that guy I have told something different. So whom I have told what I have to remember so much, so it will actually stress me out. And if the person finds out that we are lying, then they will never believe us. Right? You tell 100 truths and one lie, people will doubt those 100 truths also. So in this life, in Kali Yuga especially, it is very difficult to gain someone's trust or have some trustworthy people. And if we are lying, then the probability to have some trustworthy people, some good people will goes down. And that will actually stress us out more. So that is why we have to be truthful. And we have to have a purpose that is beyond our mind, or that can take us beyond our selfish nature, right? If we have a small purpose of achieving a home, a car, a good bank balance, my family should be good, my family should get educated, my family should get the opulences and all. If you are living in a so selfish desires, what will happen is our mind will trap us all the time in the fear, in the greed, in the lust, in the anger and everything. But if you have a bigger purpose, like selflessly, I want to do something, right? Just like the sadhus do, right? They want to share so much, right? Their life will always see like abundant. We have so much, but our life feels like filled with scarcity only. No matter whatever we get, we feel this is lacking, that is lacking. That is why we see people who have so much but still they are worried, and we go and meet them and we will feel like, yeah, you have everything, you should be happy. Actually, I thought if I have all that you have, I will be happy, but I see that all that I want you already have, but you are not happy, right? So they earn, but they don't learn how to live happily, right? So when we have a bigger purpose, we will not get trapped in our mind, right? And we always go beyond. Just like a mother, if she is sick, she may take rest. But if her son or daughter is sick, what will happen? She will not rest. She will be running to make her daughter or son healthy. So what is happening? She has a bigger purpose to go out of her body, out of her mind. So we should also have that purpose. That purpose should be in line with serving to Krishna. Our purpose should not be to have more opulences or get more name and fame, etc. Our purpose should be how I can serve Krishna better in different ways. So in that way, we have to think, because many people say that, when people become spiritual, they actually not become ambitious. They will keep their ambitions aside. They'll not have any inspiration to do more and all. That's what people think. But actually, spiritual people can actually gain everything in the world, right? But if gaining everything makes us compromise on our spiritual life, makes us compromise on Krishna consciousness, then it is a problem. So having ambitions is not a problem. If ambitions are the problem, then Yudhishthir Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, all of these great Chakravarti Samrats, the emperors of the world, would have not been there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So opulences is not a problem. Having ambitions to have opulences is not a problem as long as it won't affect your Krishna consciousness. So if you can be devoted and at the same time you can get opulences, then well and good, right? Lord wanted you to have more money. Lord wanted you to be more wealthy, but Lord doesn't want you to compromise for all that in Krishna consciousness. So we can have ambitions, but that should be in sync with our Krishna consciousness. Many times we take decisions based on how much more money I can get, how much more name and fame I can get. But our decision should not be based on how much more I can get materially, but how much more I can get spiritually. Imagine if you get an offer where you have to work for 16 hours, but you'll make double of your income, but you'll not have time for chanting, then you should not make that decision. It should be better that you settle with whatever you have and keep chanting, because our package won't decide what will be our next form of human life or whether we'll get to Goloka or not. Our Krishna consciousness, our elevation in Krishna consciousness only will decide what will be our next life, isn't it? So Krishna is important. Krishna is the diamond that we have to focus on, not the pieces of glasses that may come in terms of package, name, fame, and all. So we have to take decisions based on how much this thing will elevate me in Krishna consciousness. If it is going to degrade me, better I won't take it. Okay, I know it's more money, but still better. So we always hear in stories that there was a poor Brahmana, right? So why the Brahmanas are poor? They're not poor because they don't know how to make money. They are poor because they voluntarily choose not to have opulences so that they can focus on Krishna. So we also hear Queen Kunti saying that, these opulences, this Aishwarya and Sukha may make me forget you. So when we are in a pathetic condition, we were able to remember you more. And actually, your remembrance is the greatest wealth. So better that you remove all these opulences and give us your remembrance, right? Rather than giving the opulences and leaving your memory, right? So she used to say, when we are in a pathetic condition, you are with us. Now we are become opulent, everything is set right, you are leaving. So this is not a good condition. So for a devotee, good condition means how much more I am Krishna conscious, right? It is not like how much more money I am making. So a devotee always thinks in terms of the wealth of Krishna consciousness. So that will actually lead us to live a more purposeful and honest life. Right? We know that, maybe people are not interested in my honesty and purpose, but Krishna is interested. So let me go like that. And then we should live with humility, gratitude, and fearlessness. So we should have the humility to respect others even when they are not respecting us. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. If you want to be in a state of kirtaniya sadahari, amanina manadena. Don't be hungry or anxious to get the honor, get the respect, but you always give the honor and give the respect to those who actually deserve, right? And more importantly, sometimes people don't deserve our respect, but at least they are also part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, thinking that we can give respect and we can reduce any stressful friction between the other person and you, right? Because people are there to put us down, people are there to make us feel bad, but are we going to focus on them or are we going to focus on Krishna, right? So no matter whoever is doing what, we will respect them, we will give them the honor, and we will stay in a distance so that we can have time for Krishna, we can have consciousness for Krishna. Our consciousness is limited, so let us give much more to Krishna. Let's not give our consciousness to someone who is not interested in our growth, right? In our life, if we have two, three good people, also enough, right? Simple life means I'm not expecting everyone should respect me, everyone should understand me, right? Even if my own people cannot understand me, even if I have some two to three people who can understand me and who can elevate me in Krishna consciousness, I am still okay with that. So this is also a simple life. And we should have gratitude, right? Kar. And we should have gratitude, right? See, all the life, our mind will not support us to be Krishna conscious. It will say don't chant, don't listen. It will always say like criticize others, do bad with others, so much of temptations it will give. But in spite of that also, we remained in Krishna consciousness. So this year end, we should think about all those people, situations, books, acharyas and all, and the Shiksha Gurus and our spiritual master and everyone, we should thank them, and we should always be thankful and grateful for all their efforts to keep us Krishna conscious, right? Many things might have gone wrong in our life. Many people might have left us. Many things might have left us. We got defamed. We got so much of trouble. Maybe everything would have happened, but still we are Krishna conscious. If you are listening this class, that means some part of life is still Krishna conscious. So for that also we can be grateful, because the real wealth is still with us. The possessor of all six opulences, Krishna, is still with us. So we have lost nothing, and we should be grateful that we have this knowledge, we have the remembrance of Krishna. And next is fearlessness. We have been studying that we are not this body, we are soul, right? If we are thinking only about body, then we can have the fear that, tomorrow something may go wrong. I may die, and what will happen to my family if I go, right? So we might think about so many things, so many fearful things, and we may get afraid, we may get terrified about our death. But we should not live like this, because we know that Krishna is always with us, and we as a soul never die. Right? We should not practice dying before we die. Right? Many people, they live like they are dying. Right? So we should not live like we are dying. We should live like we are going to live forever. And our aim should be, we should live in such a way that we should die only once. This death which is going to come at the end of this life should be the last death that I am going to face. After that, I don't want any death. So in accordance to that, we should mold our life, right? Many people are coming and dying. They are again coming and again dying. They don't even know why they are coming, why they are dying. But we are Krishna conscious, right? And we are practicing so that we can elevate ourselves. So at least we should have that goal. Like this time should be the last time of dying. And why we should be fearless? Because two things. Our preeminent Shiksha Guru, that is Srila Prabhupada, his name itself is Abhay Charanaravinda, right? So he is Abhay. So Bhaya means fear, Abhay means fearlessness. So that person is in our life through his books, through his instructions and all. And second, Lord's hand is known as Abhaya Hasta, right? So that means whoever has Lord's hand in their life, his life should be fearless, right? So we should have a fear that I may forget Krishna, I may not be Krishna conscious, I may give up this path. These kind of fears we should have, because that will actually make us alert and stay in this path. That is okay. But we should not fear about losing certain things in our life, right? Oh, I may lose this house, I may lose this position, I may lose this fame, name, etc., etc., right? What will happen if I die and all? So all these fears, a devotee need not have it, because Krishna says in 9th chapter that yoga kshema vahamyaham, whatever you have, I'll protect it. Whatever you need, I will provide it. So what I need, Krishna will provide. What I have, Krishna will protect. So where is the point of shochati and kankshati? Right? So why we should be anxious about getting the things? Why we should be lamenting for the things that we have lost? In Bhagavad Gita 18.54, Krishna says that Brahma Bhutaha Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samaha sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. So if you want the pure devotion, the pure love of Krishna, then what we have to have? We have to try to reach into Brahma Bhuta stage, where we are living like a soul, not like a material body. And we should not have any lamentation for the things or people that we lost. And we should not have the hankering to get the things, right? We should have anxiety to spiritual growth, but we should not have anxiety for the material things, right? And samaha sarveshu bhuteshu, we should look everyone as a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. That is how our humility can actually strike in easily. If we think a person as a person but not as a part and parcel of Krishna, we cannot be humble, we cannot give respect. We will only associate that person with the memories that we have with that person. So then, mat bhaktim labhate param. So if we see everyone as a part and parcel of Krishna, our behavior will become simple, our life will become simple, and because of that, what will happen? We will get the Krishna prema, right? We will get the pure devotional service. We are in Krishna consciousness journey not because we want to be in Krishna conscious journey like this. No, we have a goal that we want pure love, we want Krishna. We are not here to just float, but we are here to cross this ocean and go to the land of the spiritual world, go to the spiritual sky, isn't it? So we should live like we are going to live eternally. So we should have a living that can lead us to live an eternal life. So we are not going to die again and again, right? We don't know, based on our mercy of the Lord and Guru and the Vaishnavas, this life may be last or not, but we should try to live that this life should be last. And that's way we can mold our life and we can try to have the eternal life as soon as possible. In general, also, if you see those who are opulent, if we meet them and we find out that they are very arrogant and they have lot of opulences in their consciousness also, that means they are very conscious about who they are, what is the name fame they have, then in their behavior itself we will start not liking them, right? If you go and meet a celebrity and he says like, I cannot meet people like you, so you will say, I'm a fan of you, sir. Then you'll say, so what, I have so many fans, I cannot spend time with everyone and anyone, just get lost. Then the reverence that you have, it will actually calm down. But if you are meeting a celebrity whom you are a fan of and you are going there and you are saying, sir, I just wanted to meet you, and he asks like, what's your name? Okay, do you watch my movies or do you watch my work? Okay, thank you. And he will ask for a permission, I'm just little busy, can you can I leave, because I have to take care of the things and all. Then we happily will say, so please go, you have, your time is valuable and all. So when someone is simple, right, we get more attracted. So similarly, if we live simply, Krishna will get attracted to us and he will say, like, he had many opportunities to live an opulent life. He could have invested all his time and consciousness to get the opulences, but he rather investing his time and consciousness to get me. So what will happen? Krishna will be more attracted to us and he will shower mercy through our Guru, Sadhu and Shastras through us. So a simple living not only make our life better, but it will make Krishna to get attracted to us. He will see at us and he will start showering all his blessings, all his mercy. And because of that only we can actually elevate ourselves in Krishna consciousness. So it is not easy, as I spoke so many things, and it may seems difficult, but what is easy cannot give us something worthy, isn't it? So we are aiming for something very high, right? We can say the highest anyone can achieve, that we want to achieve. We want to achieve Krishna Prema, right? So for that, even if the things are tough, we should keep on doing. And while doing, we should be prayerful and we should be humble that, I cannot do it, Krishna. I cannot do it without my Guru, without the blessings of Vaishnavas. So please help me. Like that, with that prayerful mood, we should keep our efforts, and then definitely we'll achieve the life where we can live eternally. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.